Have you ever caught yourself doing this, standing at a drink stall, staring at the long menu filled with possibilities, and yet ordering the exact same thing you always do? You tell yourself, maybe today I'll try something new. But when it's your turn, the words just tumble out. One iced lemon tea, please. It feels almost automatic, familiar, comfortable, and as you take that first sip, there's that tiny spark of satisfaction. Not because it's new or exciting, but because it's safe. It's you. Why do we do that? Why do we cling so tightly to the choices we once made, as if they define who we are? 1. The power of familiarity. At the heart of this habit lies a deep psychological force, the comfort of familiarity. Our brains are wired to favor what we already know. It's called the mere exposure effect. The more we experience something, the more we tend to like it. When you've had that drink or food a dozen times before, you've trained your mind to associate it with satisfaction, routine, and safety. It's no longer just a drink or meal. It's a small ritual that anchors your day. Familiarity is powerful because it tells your brain, you've been here before. You survived this. It's safe. And in a world full of uncertainty, safety feels good. That's why we watch the same comfort shows again and again. That's why we walk the same route home, eat the same lunch, and sometimes stay in the same job or relationship far longer than we should. Familiarity becomes our emotional shelter, our refuge from the unknown. 2. The fear of regret. Another hidden reason we stick to our first choices? The fear of regret. Imagine standing at that same drink stall, tempted by a new flavor. You take a risk, you order it, and when it turns out disappointing, you feel that sting of regret. You think, I should have just stuck to my usual. That single negative experience can echo for a long time. Your brain quietly learns a lesson. Change leads to regret. So the next time, without even thinking, you choose what's familiar. Not because it's better, but because it's safer. Psychologists call this loss aversion. The tendency to fear losses more than we value gains. We'd rather avoid the disappointment of a bad choice than risk discovering something new that might be better. It's not just about drinks or food. It's about life. How many dreams, opportunities, or relationships have we passed up? Simply because the risk of regret was louder than the whisper of possibility. 3. The identity effect. Here's where it gets deeper. Our choices don't just reflect our preferences, they start to shape our identity. When you always order the same menu, it becomes a small part of who you are. The iced lemon tea person. The flat white person. It's predictable. It tells the world something about you. Humans crave consistency. We want our actions to align with the image we hold of ourselves. So once we've chosen something, whether it's a drink, a brand, or even a belief, we keep returning to it to stay true to that identity. This is called the consistency principle. Psychologist Robert Cialdini described it as one of the strongest motivators of human behavior. We act in ways that are consistent with our past choices, even when those choices no longer serve us. We don't just stick to our choices. We stick to the story they tell about us. 4. The role of memory and emotion. Every choice we make leaves behind an emotional trace, a memory linked to how it made us feel. Maybe that first iced lemon tea you ordered came on a day when you were tired, stressed, or heartbroken, and that cool, citrusy taste brought you a sense of calm. Now, every time you drink it, that same emotional relief quietly resurfaces. That's associative memory, the brain's way of connecting experiences with feelings. We don't just remember what we chose, we remember how it made us feel. So, when we repeat that choice, we're not chasing flavor, we're chasing feeling. The drink becomes an emotional time machine, a shortcut to comfort, nostalgia, and stability. 5. The double-edged sword. There's nothing wrong with sticking to what we love. Familiarity can be grounding, especially in an unpredictable world. But when comfort becomes confinement, when our choices become automatic, we stop growing. The same psychology that protects us from regret can also trap us in routine. We might never discover that the drink next to our favorite could become our new favorite, or that a single new experience could open doors we never knew existed. Every time we repeat an old choice, we reinforce a pathway in our brain. It's like walking the same trail through the woods every day. Soon, it's so worn that we forget the forest is bigger than the path. Sometimes we need to pause, look around, and wonder, what else is out there? Because life's richness often begins where our comfort zone ends. So the next time you're at that drink stall, and you feel your lips about to say, "The usual, please," pause, just for a moment. Ask yourself, am I choosing this because I love it, or because it's easy? Our first choices don't have to define us forever. They were right for who we were then. But we're constantly changing, evolving, learning. Every new choice is a chance to meet a different version of ourselves. There's beauty in loyalty, yes. But there's also courage and curiosity. To try the unknown. To risk a little regret for the chance of discovery. To remind ourselves that comfort shouldn't come at the cost of growth. So maybe, just once, order that new drink. You might hate it, or you might find your new favorite. Either way, you'll learn something about yourself. Because in the psychology of sticking to our first choices lies a simple truth. We're not afraid of bad drinks. We're afraid of change. And maybe it's time we made peace with that one new sip at a time.